By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. That this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 10. Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw there, complete to Hamlin.
It's picked up by the Titans. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Not only a fumble loss there, but a fumble lost on your first drive in your own territory.
Now you're dealing with a lot of stuff here because you feel bad going off the field because you gave up the football. How does your own defense feel now having to go out there and stop them when the momentum is clearly shifted in their favor?
Now the first carry for Darrington Evans. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
Well, this defense for the Jags, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Looking to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Anthony Schwartz.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. It's Hillman.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
This is Hillman on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game.
And the Titans lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A handoff for Etienne.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Etienne. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, a give to Evans.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Lawrence.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
On 1st and 10, it's Evans.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll run here with Evans.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, the give to Hillman. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Lawrence. To the right side and complete to Hurst. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
They'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
They'll go right back to Evans here on 1st down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the counter, Roddy Hillman. And they'll get him down as as he's inside the 40.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to the fullback on the dive. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
On 2nd down now, Hightower.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for the first with Hillman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Evans. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The tackle made by Caleb Chason.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
After the penalty, it's Hillman. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Hillman. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Hillman. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Anthony Schwartz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And the round is on here in this first half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway.
Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Gallup getting it on the jet sweep. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
They'll run on first down. Hightower, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2nd down at 5.
They go again with Hightower. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
This is taken at about the 14. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. His throw incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike 16, Mike 16. I got it.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A couple of first downs, has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And look at this, it's a fake. Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, sometimes the fake punts work out. They're fun, and you're so smart for doing it. And sometimes, Charles, what happens is an epic fail, and what we just saw was an epic fail.
And you're right about that, because the key here is the element of surprise. You have to catch a defense completely unaware that this might happen, this might occur. Unfortunately, somehow they tipped it off, or they were just well coached and on their toes.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Check it out, read. Blue draw corkers.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On second down, a run with Etienne.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's fourth down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers.
And this is caught. And it's a Titans touchdown.
Anthony Schwartz,
53 yards.
and the Titans are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And there's a run to be happy with. good, solid yardage, he'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward.
Space to run past the 20. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
Denzel Mims,
His first touchdown on the year.
and the Jaguars are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that one will bounce out. The back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Hightower. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll try to run some clock with Hillman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but...
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Snags it for the pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Titans, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.